VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. Live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Thanks for checking out the program today on SiriusXM Channel 158. The VSiN Watch app. Might be watching the show today on YouTube TV as well. We have a great night in sports tonight, Paulie. We have a plethora of bets. We will navigate the waters throughout the next 3 hours. We'll tell you what we like and why we like them. I think this is excellent tonight with the NBA and the NHL. We have 4 games in each sport. And as you always say, Paulie, don't get caught with your pants down. We have a game at 6 o'clock Eastern tonight. Bucks at the Pacers. And why is it that in my mind, this kind of has like a carbon copy of what happened last night? Maybe not to that extreme.
I hope not.
With the Cavaliers and the Heat. Kind of written all over it to me.
60-point lead. Ernie Johnson at halftime. Worst game I've ever seen.
Well, I hope so, because that's the way I bet it tonight.
Uh-huh.
I think this is it for the Bucks, and I think this could get embarrassingly bad for the team.
Wow. 30? 25? When you have a team publicly saying we let go of the rope and the loss of our second-best player was demoralizing, then they get blown out and they got to come back and go on the road, It has all the makings and all the signs of a blowout. You do have a superstar who can get what he wants. Gets what he wants, and Freak is 33.5 with his point prop, but they cannot stop or defend and get any stops against Indiana. 80 points off uncontested looks last game. 8 different players had at least 12 points. Can't get stops. Your second-best player's out, so who else is going to step up and score? Trent had the miracle game in Game 3. Can you count on Porter? Lopez hasn't done anything. Kuzma, all the makings of a blowout. And I also think a high-scoring affair, much like yesterday, where it feels like a regular season game. It just, blowout, and it's just no defense being played.
Now, in general, let's compare tonight's point spread, where it's at, to like the first couple of games of the series when they did play in Indianapolis. Game 1, no Dame. Indy was favored, closed around 6.5, right? They won that game 117-98. Game 2, Dame was back. Pacers down to 4 in that game. Now, they controlled almost all of it. The Bucks cut it to 2 late. I was on Milwaukee in that game. It would have been an extremely fortunate cover had they actually gotten there. They didn't. The Pacers won by 8. High-scoring game there. And now it's beefed back up to 8 with no Lillard. So it's priced higher than it was than game 1 by 1.5 points. But now this is entirely different, right? Bucks had some hope coming in. First game of the playoffs for them. And they thought, well, we hate this team. We're going to be live here. We're going to get Dame back, and we can potentially, pull off the series in advance of the playoffs. Now, basically, the writing's on the wall here. Season's over with. And the future does not look bright at all for this organization.
Yep. And when the starters have been on the floor, it's been all Indiana. And Indiana's also got off to strong starts. Remember, in Game 3, they lost. They led at halftime. And then the third quarter was what got out of control there. So you have the halftime, full-time, which is available. Indiana's only $1.95. I like that. And I think you might be all over it, that this is just out of control and Indiana gets whatever they want and it's a blowout and you get ready for the Cavs on Saturday.
I could get carried out in this game tonight, but I have several bets on it. Here's what I'm doing. Again, if you look at what has happened so far throughout the series, and I'll go quarter by quarter and then half by half, right? In the first quarter of the first 4 games, these are the scores. 33-25, 40-30, 26 apiece, and 30-24. There was one tie. The Pacers led every other game at the end of the first quarter.
Yep. That's why they're all over Doc Rivers. Why didn't you start to change the lineup?
Exactly
right.
It's
not working what you're putting out there.
First half scores. Game 1, 67-43. Game 2, 68-60. Then it was 57-47 and 63-52. Pacers led or they were blowing out the Bucks in every one of those games. I played the following bets tonight. Pacers first quarter, I'm going to go around the world, as Aaron Rennie likes to say. Pacers first quarter minus 2.5. I laid 4.5 minus 105. The juice on the first quarter was also 105. And I laid 7.5 minus 15 cents tonight. I think it's up to 8 at most spots here. I just think that this is good. It's a mismatch, by the way. These teams are not close.
Yep, I'm with you. Yep. What if Freak has an off game, too? Then where's the offense coming from? Kuzma's been terrible. What's wrong with Lopez? He's done nothing either.
Yeah.
So then I also will do it later, but I think we're getting carried away with some of the props because the books are in a guessing game about who else is going to score. who else can do something and who's going to get those shots? Is it Portis? Is it Porter? Is it going to be Trent? Trent, game 3, appeared to be the fluke.
Right.
Porter's 14.5 with his player prop. And then and Portis is up there, too.
Yeah. Portis is 13.5 tonight. He's 5-2 to the over that last 7 games. Porter's PRA tonight is 26.5. Like, in theory, that should be a good play to go over. But, again, it's going to be Doc, and I don't know what the hell to do with that guy as the head coach. I don't know what his usage is going to be. What if it turns into a blowout? He said, I'm going to play all my bench guys. Screw it. The season's over with at this point.
And Porter should get a lot of run, too, but that hasn't been the case either. But when he's in there, he's delivered. But, you're right, Doc's a big question mark.
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin, 5-1, over 9.5 points in his last 6 games. And Kyle Kuzma, 7 straight games, under 3.5 rebounds. I found all those numbers at VSiN.com under tools at the very top. And when you go to an NBA player prop analyzer, those are my bets in that game. How about the second game in the Eastern Conference tonight, tip time-wise anyway, Pistons at the Knicks. I got to tell you, I want to kind of take myself out of the equation here. I do have a couple of bets on this game. I'll tell you what they are, but I'm 0-3, I believe, betting this series so far. And I bet the Pistons every single time. The one time I didn't is when they covered and won the game outright.
Yeah, the Knicks got off to the hot start on the road, but not at home. And then they had to pull the 21-0 run in the fourth quarter to get game 1, and then blown out in game 2.
Right.
So Brunson's been great, averaging 33 and 8. Finally, you get Cat going, but this is imperative. If you're going to have a shot against Boston, you cannot go 6 or 7 games against Detroit. Boston's laying 11 tonight. They're beat up. They want to get this series over and rest. The last thing you can come in and do is when the Celtics killed you in the regular season. You don't want to come limping in and beat up. So you got to get this game tonight, and then you wonder where Detroit's heads are at after what happened and felt they got robbed with the no call. But I think the first quarter is big here as well. That they got out to the slow starts at home. They were great, though, on the road, and it looked more like the Knicks basketball about everyone getting involved and Cat having a big game and OG and what they did in the last game and coming back. And certainly they had a great half in Game 4. But I wouldn't say this is easy, lay the 5.5 with the Knicks.
No, in fact, in the contest that we're doing right now, the Killer Sports Challenge at VSiN.com, I took a bad number on purpose here. I took the Pistons plus the 5, hoping that other people would go the other way and then I can get the cover, maybe pick up a game or two here. But here's the difference in the series so far, right? The Knicks outscored the Pistons 40-21 in the fourth quarter of Game 1. You talked about that. You take that quarter away, just that one quarter from the entire series, and the Pistons have a plus 11 scoring differential in the series, yet they trail 3-1. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely remarkable.
That is.
The halftime adjustments, we might see it again tonight. Mm-hmm. The Pistons in the third quarter, game by game, plus 10, plus 2, plus 3, and plus 14. They have outscored the Knicks in every single third quarter so far. They're plus 29 for the series. Keep an eye on that tonight. Cunningham is plus 575 for a triple-double. He's averaging 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. He had one in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how I'm betting it.
I need aggressive Cat.
That's what
I can't have guys standing around an ISO ball with Brunson and foul hunting. I got to get more of what happened when they went to Detroit for 3 and 4. Get OG involved, get Bridges shots, and get Cat going early.
So what do you think of these two bets then? If you go back and look again, Cat's been it's been an entirely different 2 games for him at the back end of the series compared to the first 2 games. He has scored 27 and 31 in back-to-back games. He combined to make 9 threes in those 2 games, right? His props for tonight, I bet over 2.5 plus 240. And over 3.5 plus 630 on him. Again, he's made 5 and 4 threes in back-to-back games. Is that the Cat we're going to get tonight?
Yep.
I certainly hope so.
I think so, yep. And he cashed that ticket for most threes in the last game. And he's a good price in this one today, too. So I think it could be bombs away. The other one, you mentioned what's going on with the third quarter, or also the point differential. It's 3-1 Knicks. Beasley's done nothing for the Pistons.
That's exactly right.
And then I don't know what Hardaway's going to show up either. But they're going to get good looks, and Hardaway was great in one of the games. But Duran's been awesome down low.
Do you see his rebounding prop for tonight?
What do you think?
I saw as high as 12.5. Now, in 2 different games, he has 17 and 13 so far. That's a high number.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus.
Same thing with Porter, too, with the points. You want to play it, but they can't. It's like the Kempe shots on goal now. Now he's 3.5, how they're adjusting.
Right.
Over or under? Thoughts on the total? It's been more of a grinder.
I know.
I honestly a slower pace when it's been in the Garden.
Yeah. I'm not going to play the total. Have you made a bet on that?
No. That one's tough. These are in play. I think these are great in-play games tonight to start.
There you go.
I like Orlando getting all these points. We'll see if Brown goes questionable. Orlando has made it ugly. They're playing physical. They're playing football out there, wrestling match, and they're taking away a lot of the threes. Boston was number one all time in the regular season in threes made and threes attempted. They were averaging 48 a game. They're averaging 33 in this series.
And I noticed that Sean Grandy had a great tweet on that, and 6 times that they've shot below a certain number this year, all of them have come against the Magic. The Magic do a great job defensively and not allowing the Celtics to get off threes. More on that game coming up in a little bit. Brunson, by the way, for the next 30-plus in all 4 games, averaging 33 points and 40.5 minutes per game, 29.5. Are they begging you to bet the over? Slightly juiced to the over tonight. Are they begging you to take it?
Yeah. I like it over, even though I want to see more distribution.
Yeah, so do I.
And getting everyone else involved, but you just see how good he is at clutch time. And all those shots he was making down the stretch.
If it's a tight game, you know that he's going to have, how many shots will he take in the fourth quarter alone?
That's right. Yeah. And then the foul scenario, too. Unlock your winning edge with an unbeatable offer. Get VSiN Pro. Everything we do through August 1st, just $59. Sign up now, 50% off the regular monthly price. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, DraftKings and Circa, all the trends, the good stuff from Mackinnon, 24/7 video access, every sport, every edge, one low price. Full access August 1st, $59, vsin.com/subscribe. I couldn't believe that last night, even though you thought it could happen. To be down 40 in the first half at home after you just got obliterated the night before, I couldn't believe it.
How bad was it in the first quarter at one point, 30-8? Did it get any worse than that?
I thought they were down 30. Wasn't it 42,
in the first quarter?
42-13 or something?
Could have been. When you see a team...
You're down 40 in the first half.
Yeah. I guess when I see a team still in the single digits and a team has 30-plus, I'm like, oh, my God. Wow.
First possession, turnover, dunk.
Yeah, we'll hit the NHL up next. I'm very tempted about something I rarely do in hockey. I'll tell you what it is coming up here on VSiN.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social by playing with friends. Learn the game and know the odds. Play with trusted legal operators. And if you need help, reach out. If you're getting in on the action, visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Strong night in hockey tonight as well, especially out west. The two series going on, one here in Vegas, one in Los Angeles, and the Wild and Golden Knights. Been a hell of a series. This price, man, it's bonkers to me. I get it based on like regular season power rating and points and how they did overall for a span of 6 months, but you can almost grab 2-1 on the Wild tonight to win the game. Here's something I rarely do this in hockey, and over the years I have not made like a zillion bets on this sport. I rarely take like a goal and a half. Remember Vinny Meatballs over at the South Point told us that was very popular in the playoffs many, many years ago. He would explain like, yeah, they'll lay the juice and take a puck and a half, hope it goes to overtime, and boom, you get yourself a winner. It's around minus 135 tonight with 1.5 goals on the Wild. That to me feels like a pretty strong bet based on how these two teams are playing each other. And I have a bunch of numbers I'll share with you in a second, but doesn't that feel pretty good?
Yep, they love their spot. They are confident too. So it's rare you get this with the big price. Yet the dog feels good about where they're at. And several Wild players said that after the game. It's like, okay, puck luck. We lost in overtime. We were right there. First time in 32 games they blew a third period lead. You're trying to exercise the demons. You haven't won a series since 2015. Where's Eichel? Will he show up? He's been on a milk carton. How bad has this guy been?
I think he will show up. I'll explain why in a second.
All right, Cassidy's had his back. He's only had 1 assist. He hasn't done anything in the series, but I'm with you that it's too high, and it's a big in-play game as well. First goal is going to be huge, but after what they did in the regular season to take them out, no problem, and then they're having these issues in the playoffs, I certainly would give a small edge now in goaltending to Minnesota, how it's played out, and I'm concerned here about the Knights and going back where you see when you win the Stanley Cup, going out in the first round. You know, the trend that trend could continue here with Edmonton as well. But that's what Vegas did last year, and I know Minnesota's got a ton of confidence here. First goal is huge tonight. And I think the series price is also outrageous. You want to talk about tonight, the series, where you can get a better price on a series.
I know.
I mean, home ice doesn't matter here.
I don't think so either.
The Wild already won here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wild win tonight.
So, to your point about the goalie, they have the better goalie so far. Minnesota does. Gustafsson, 2.3 goals above expected through 4 games via money puck. Aiden Hill, minus 3.7 in the same category. That's a pretty big difference there. The 2 stars for the Wild have combined for 8 goals and only 14 points in this series. Stone and Eichel, 0 goals, 2 points. But
why will he break out of it?
Well, if you go based on, there's a really good breakdown on this game specifically tonight in the New York Times. Cassidy switched lines midway through the game 4. Eichel had 6 shots on goal eventually. Stone had 4. And the Wild have outscored the Golden Knights overall 3-0 on 5-on-5 when their star players are on the ice. But in 5 career Game 5s, Eichel has 6 points and is +2. So they were explaining, like, as the series gets a little bit longer in the playoffs, Eichel starts to play a little bit better. And in Game 5s overall, it's kind of like, I mean, that's narrative, obviously. It's like playoff Jimmy or, Jimmy Butler showing up big time. But Eichel in Game 5s has been really, really solid. And they were explaining that as the series goes on, maybe he has a better feel for it, gets out there, and just plays his best hockey when it matters most. Also, the Wild are 63.6% on PKs in the series. That is 12th out of 16 playoff teams. That has to get better. They're 25% in the power play. And VGK is out shooting the Wild 34.5 to 25 shots per game.
They have a great power play. The problem is, can you get how many times can you get on it? And then can you take advantage of it? And that might decide the series and the game tonight. So staying out of the box is huge, just like the late game with LA and Edmonton. And that's been the story of the series as well.
Well,
so
those
we'll say 5.5 the total. 13 of the last 15 playoff games have gone over. 13 of 15. High scoring and also a ton of empty net goals as well.
Sure.
And then what happened last night was just bizarre. Both teams scored 2 goals in 11 seconds. Never seen that before.
I know.
Crazy.
I know.
Yep. Here I go. All about the Kings, right? Love the Kings. $1.25 tonight for the game. You can bet them to win in regulation if you wish for a better price. You can also bet them in the first period. They've dominated this series until the third period. They've been the better team. They collapse in Game 1, still won. And then it was just a bad decision to go conservative and prevent hockey and prevent defense, what they did in the last game. They've allowed 11 goals in the third period in this series. That's another reason why you want to take the first period in this one. Kemper is 23-2 at home this year with a 1.67. He's got a .935 save percentage. We talked about the special teams which I briefly mentioned yesterday. Last year, that was the whole story. Edmonton was 94% in the playoffs on the penalty kill. They were 100% in the series win against Los Angeles. Yet LA starts 7 of 14 on the power play in this series. It's a different team. They haven't been able to slow down Kempe, who has 19 points in 22 games. He is up to 3.5 now, plus $1.30 for shots on goal.
You going to ride that?
I think I'm going to have to, but we're really getting carried away. I also wanted to play a point, but he's 210 to have a point.
Oof.
He's plus $1.10 to have an assist. That might be the way to attack it. But I think the Kings respond. They're the better team, and I think they win the game and they win the first period. You can go $1.30 first period, or you can lay a half a goal in the first period as well, and you take out the money line. But I'm all about the Kings tonight. I think they respond, and we won't see any shenanigans with Hiller, and this series could be over. They could have swept them. I mean, they led by 2 goals, blew it, and then they led by 2 goals and blew it.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with the total here? Are you involved? And I bring
Every
it up.
game's gone over, yeah,
It's been super high scoring.
Yeah.
And will that continue? LA, for the series now, LA is 46.7% in the power play. The Oilers are at 40%, number 1 and number 2 in the playoffs. And this is one of the highest or the best percentages ever in the playoffs going back to, I think, the late 70s for overall, all 16 teams converting on the power play.
Yeah.
So you want to go over 1.5 goals, lay the juice in the first period? I did that last game and I lost. But the game went over 6.5 because it went to overtime tied at 3.
That's risky, too, because LA doesn't give up first period goals for the most part. They had that sick run. 3's the magic number, too. I know it let them down the last couple games, but when they get 3 goals, 41-4. It was 41-2 until the debacle of the last 2 games. But you're right. You can't. How do you handicap who's going to be disciplined or a stupid penalty? Or even just an innocuous shooting the puck over the glass? And I know that's tough. Going to be tough. All over the Kings tonight, though. Love L.A. We got a goalie change, too. Can you lay 290 as we're talking? Carolina's 290 with the backup. Anderson's out. Kochekhov's in. They say it doesn't matter to us. Brindamore also said he's day-to-day. Although he won't play, that's all I have for you. He's been great in the series with a 1.49 goals against. You mentioned what's going on in the night series. How about this? 5-on-5? New Jersey's outscored them, which surprised me. It's 4-1 Carolina on the power play, which also is surprising because New Jersey has a top 3 penalty kill. Empty net goals are 2-0 Carolina. I can't lay 290 here with a backup goalie, even though he played well in the win against New Jersey, and Markstrom led in a couple softies in that one. I like over 5.5, and this is a good angle here in this series, in this game tonight, and also the Toronto game. Because when you have a situation where you can wrap it up and clinch, when the goalie comes out, he stays out. And we could get multiple empty net goals here.
Yeah, I'll give you this angle here. First of all, Carolina regulation, would you consider that, or is it still too high?
How big is it?
That's going to be
I don't want to do it with a backup goalie.
$1.75.
$1.75.
Yeah. All right, so look, here, I'll share these nuggets. This is from Alex Smith, host of the Ice Guys, right? And he's the one who shared the first period numbers with us like 5-6 years ago when that really took off. The elimination game angle with the Ottawa-Toronto game and also Carolina-New Jersey. Third period over. So if a team with a series lead has the lead or game tied after the second, also the empty net goal props are available. You can find these at all. Teams will pull the goalies earlier and even multiple times if down 2 or 3 goals. So empty net goal in Carolina and New Jersey is available. Yes is plus 110. Canes to score empty netter is plus 210. Third period over 2 is minus 105. Third period over 2.5 is plus 165. I know there's a lot of nuggets there and a lot of numbers. And for the other game, Ottawa and Toronto, the empty net goal, yes, is plus 115. The Leafs to score an empty netter alone is plus 245. Would you think about both those? Oh, but only for the teams that are leading 3-1?
Yeah. You got that's strong. Yep. Remember, and this Jonathan Davis angle too keeps hitting. You bet the team to score in the first period or to score first. The loser. Bet the team that lost the last game to score first or score in the first period, which went 2-0 yesterday. You can do that as well. I don't want Toronto, though. 1-12.
Yeah, I know.
Going back since 2017 when they can eliminate an opponent.
No, I'm way more intrigued in the 2 West Coast series tonight. I really am. I like the Wild plus a 1.5 minus 135, and you are clearly all over the Kings tonight. Yep.
Kings in 6. Check out the Sharp Plays at sharpplays.com where real bettors go to get ahead. Chasing steam, copying picks, recycling the same old value plays. They're not sharp. Sharp Plays is the source they're echoing. They've been with us since day one. Remember Mr. Poison, all the great numbers and everyone he talks to. Since 2011, he's been locked in with the Real Pros Are Betting elite group, Sharp Money, the kind that move markets. And the Sharp plays jumps on a side, the line reacts. Insider info, powerful AI tools. You're getting ahead and not guessing. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, next-level intel via email or on X. Check the receipts, full betting logs live on the site. Don't follow the crowd when you can lead it. SharpPlays.com, respected and watched and feared. That's the Sharp Plays, SharpPlays.com.
I'm on the VSiN.com betting splits page right now for the NHL tonight. At DraftKings, 72% of the handle is on the Golden Knights, but yet 50% of the bets going to both teams. And at Circa, 63% of the handle is on the Wild, 71% of the bets on the Golden Knights. That'll tell you the sharp money's on the Wild tonight in that game. Up next, 2 other games in the NBA. I haven't heard one person make the case for this team yet.
And they're off.
From the Masters to the Derby, playoffs to the draft, we have your summer covered with a VSiN Pro subscription for just $59 until August 1st. That means expert picks for every major event, exclusive betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 video access on the VSiN Watch app, as well as betting guides for the Kentucky Derby and the NFL. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $59 and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Two other games tonight in the NBA. Magic playing on the road at the Celtics.
The champs on NBA TV.
Will they be blacked out anywhere on the East Coast when you live in the Boston area?
The Denver game will be in the Midwest.
There's no question.
I know. And 8:30 local tip. They'll be riled up and ready to go. That is some tailgate. They'll be coming strong.
So what do you make of the number then? 11.5 here tonight on the Celtics. There's going to be no Drew Holiday. Jaylen Brown status up in the air?
I think he'll play, but that's game time decision. I know. I took the 11.5. I think it's too high. And also the Celtics tend to play with their food here, which I haven't seen their A game other than this second half of game one, right? So if you could be down a couple starters here, or at least one starter, another guy who's compromised, that puts a lot of pressure on Tatum. Plus what I mentioned earlier about Orlando defending the three well. Boston 48 attempts in the regular season, which was a record, 33 in the series. I guess if I'm Boston, I'm good and just say, Banchero, shoot as many times as you want. Guy took 32 shots in the last game.
Well,
I do like his prop over 29.5, though, because that's the only guy who can do anything and the only guy you can count on. Plus, I can count on he's going to take a ton of shots as well, so and maybe get to the free throw line. So I think 11.5 is too much here. Again, their goal is just to win, get healthy, get ready for likely the Knicks. And I don't think they blow them out in Orlando, the slowest team in the league in pace and a number 2 defense.
Based on what you said about Banchero, do you want to eat some juice tonight on his made threes prop? It's 1.5, almost touching $2 in some spots, but $1.88 to go over. He is 7-1 over 1.5 made threes in his last 8 games.
All right.
But if he takes those right, that's again what we've been saying since October. Give me a guy who's going to shoot 10 threes a game or whatever the number might be, and they make it 1.5 or 2.5. Based on how well he shoots it, then I'd be intrigued by that. But I would look at maybe an alternate number on him, but I would have to have a really high plus price on him to make 3+ threes in this game. I really would.
Eric White?
Yeah, I mean, why not? He's been Mr. Consistency all year long.
If it's no Brown, maybe you get more on White, but that's, yep.
White is 6-1 over 15.5 points last 7 games. Porzingis 6-1 under 6.5 rebounds last 7 games.
That's surprising.
Which team between the 1 and the 2 seeds here in the East facing a little bit more trouble in the second round? If the Cavaliers get the Pacers, assuming that the Pacers win tonight.
Oh, it's Cavs-Pacers. It's Knicks. You don't think the Knicks aren't going to give the Celtics problems?
Well, I'm just wondering how healthy the Celtics. I mean, a fully healthy Celtics team will beat the Knicks in 5 games.
Yeah,
and it could be a bloodbath in all of them.
Right. I think that Pacers series goes deep.
So do I.
They are playing well.
Yep.
And they can score, even though Cleveland looked great. Yep. So the love affair with the Clippers, and there was a 60-cent move on the series price before it started.
Yep.
Doug Kazarian came in studio last week. He made a good point off the air about it's still the Clippers and nothing goes their way. So they're up 2-1. They blow out Denver in Game 3. It's all set up right there. There was a ton of talk of better team, going to win the series, and then even Clippers in 5. And then what happens? Harden goes through the motions. He's not aggressive. They don't play well. They're down 20 in the fourth quarter. Now, you can say they came all the way back, took the lead, and they're going to carry that in to tonight, and that's why they're favored and they're the better team. But it's just, I can't back the Clippers or trust the Clippers. And again, with the 60-cent move on the series price, nobody thought Denver would win this series. It was crazy. And it was a 4-5 matchup, and the team with home court and the best player in the world who just averaging 36 or at 36, 21, and 8. No, I'm not going to give him any respect.
Oh, I didn't really hear anybody make the case for Denver to win the series. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 people. That was about it. I have yet to hear one single human being make the case for Denver in this game tonight. And did you know that they opened at some spots -1.5 in this game?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I did not see that.
Neither did I. I was told that today from a very sharp odds maker and bettor. And I was like, oh, my good Lord, are you serious? Well, and now they're catching 2 points at home.
What do they have left in the tank?
Well, I know this. Porter's going to play tonight. So there was some speculation that he could miss for leaving the bench in the previous game. He is not suspended. He is going to play in this game.
And Westbrook, last check, was a game-time decision. So the Clippers are the better team, but you got to show it now. And again, I'm worried about playoff Harden, who he only took a couple threes. It's late in the fourth quarter. He only had 2 threes. and he wasn't being aggressive in that game. And then Joker took over, but then they ran out of gas. But again, you have no bench. None. I want to see Dunn on the bench. He can't shoot. He was 1 of 9, I believe, in the last game. I don't like his offensive game, so I want to see what Lou and Van Gundy do from adjustment standpoint. And then it's like, well, they have no bench, and he played everybody. And now what do you see what Adelman does tonight? Westbrook, if he can go out there and give you something, but it's just it should be right there for the Clippers, but you got to take it. They should have won game 1. They blew it. Don't turn the ball over. Get an aggressive Harden, and Kawhi has to look like old Kawhi, and you should win the game going away.
I know. I totally agree with that. And when you look at what happened again in Game 4, Joker almost had another triple-double. He's had 2 so far in the series. More on that coming up in a second. But he had 36, 21, and 8. So he was great, but he missed that shot, and he was mad at himself after the game because he's like, that had no chance of going in. But Aaron Gordon grabbed it. He won the game on the tip-in dunk, of course. The Clippers shot 44% in the game. They were 10 of 30 from 3 and 11 for 16 from the free throw line. And they still lost the game. They should have won the game, or easily could have won the game, is what I meant to say.
They had the lead, and Kawhi got a couple good looks and missed it, and then,
Yep. So, player props tonight. Batum is 6-1 over 5.5 points, but more importantly, based on the numbers tonight, he's 6-1 over 2.5. I'm sorry, check that. Over 1.5 made threes. Nicholas Batum is 6-1 over 1.5 made threes last 7 games. He's plus money tonight. He's getting enough minutes. He's taking enough shots, 22 minutes per game, and taking almost 6 threes per contest and shooting about 43.5%. Norman Powell, another option to maybe go over with the threes tonight. Jamal Murray is 6-1 under 31.5 PRA in his last 7 games. And I did bet Joker in the last game to have a triple-double. 2 assists shy. I'm coming right back again tonight. I have to do it as long as Porter's going to be playing in this game at home. And the number is now up. I'm grabbing now 25 cents on that tonight, plus 125. So if I bet it last game and it lost on the road and he was close, I got to come back and I have to bet it at a better number tonight in this game. Because he's going to be teetering on a triple-double every game anyway. He had some against the Clippers in the regular season, and as I talked about, he's had 2 so far in the series, and he's been close in the other games. The betting splits on this game tonight at VSiN.com. 78% of the handle on the Clippers at DraftKings. 78%. That tells you, here at Circa, again, they take a lot of sharp money here, Paulie, 87% of the handle has been on the Clippers. And 64% of the bets. So my guess is they're going to really want Denver in this game tonight.
Want a big performance out of Kawhi.
Do you put stock into what Kazarian said?
The history?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything goes wrong for him. Yeah. There's something to that. Ask Maple Leaf fans. I mean, it's just if you feel cursed, they are cursed. And they take Blake Griffin, he gets hurt immediately. You got the Sterling mess when they had a very good team, and it derailed that postseason run.
That's right.
I mean, it just seems like nothing goes their way, and you come in with the shiny new stadium, and you got a 2-1 lead, and you blow that game.
Yep, I'll give you this from Zach Cohen. Has great write-ups at VSiN.com every single day. I want to throw this bet at you and see what you think. He's on, and you can read the explanation again at the website, VSiN.com. He's on Pacers money line tonight. I'm all about, like, if you want to get involved with going against some of these awful teams in baseball and putting the Pacers on the money line parlay tonight, I'm open to it. But he's going to go Pacers money line, Pistons alt number plus 12.5. That 2-team parlay is minus 133.
That's good.
Don't hate it.
No.
At all.
Right. Or you can go halftime, full-time with the Pacer game, too, which you expect to be a blowout. Then they get off to a hot start.
This is where, again, I grew up in that state. I would tell you that Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of my favorite athletes of all time. Having been from there, I like him way more than Aaron Rodgers. Way more, not even close. Mm-hmm. This is when you get older and your allegiances go bye-bye, and it's all about who you're betting on tonight. I hope the Pacers beat them by 100, and I hope it's 55-20 at the end of the first quarter. I just want to turn on the game. It's a bloodbath, and turn it off, and I don't even have to watch it tonight. That's what I want.
If they're down 10 in the first quarter, I think it's really 1, 2, 3 can't go.
I think you might be right.
Because that's exactly what they did in the last game. So, Miami Heat were supposed to bounce back after getting humiliated. 2 minutes in, it was over. So I think
that's right.
It's another good in play. I mean, you look in a playoff game and the home team's catching 39.5 right off the bat in the in-play. Whether you're placing your first bet or playing the ponies for years, VSiN's Kentucky Derby betting guide has everything you need to get ahead on Derby Day. A clear breakdown on how to bet on horse racing, which is great for beginners. Detailed previews of both the Derby and Oaks. Best bets from top racing experts to help serious bettors cash in. And it drops April 30th. It's yours with a VSiN Pro subscription. Start today, just $9.99. Get your first 30 days of VSiN Pro. Derby guide, best bets, betting splits, and more. VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, Paulie's going to recap last night's betting action. We like to call it win some, lose some. We'll also touch on a few marquee games in Major League Baseball. It was an incredible pitching matchup the first time they met. That was early on in the season. I don't think we're going to get a repeat performance. I'll try to explain why next here on VSiN.
In the heart of downtown Las Vegas, a sports oasis awaits. Stadium Swim, the ultimate outdoor amphitheater, built for the ultimate sports fan, with a colossal screen that brings the game closer than ever. Reserve a daybed, private cabana, or lounge in the center of it all. 6 pools to dive into as the game heats up. And the best part, there's never an off-season. Open 365 days a year. Stadium Swim, it's always spectator season.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the sports betting network. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
The overs continue in the NHL, 13-2 overrun. And I tell you, as a goalie, you set the tone early. So you want to come out, talk a big game, but it can be deflating and demoralizing when you give up a soft one, like what happened 9 seconds into the game. But, I mean, square up to the shooter. Face the shooter there if he's got the puck on the boards for the start for Colorado and Dallas. Why you got your ass in the net? That's you're giving the guy an opportunity. Banks it in off you. It's ridiculous. I've seen so many of those goals in the playoffs.
I always wonder, how does that happen in the first, 15, 20 seconds of the game? It's that easy?
I know.
That should never, ever happen.
9 seconds in. Stars easy, plus 130. Panthers, $1.35, up to 160. They're up 3 games to 1. Warriors, Rockets, game leaders. Most threes, Van Vliet, 7-1. Most assists, plus 650. Dead heat with Butler. And they knew. Cavs Heat over, 210, up to 213.5. Lose some, the Heat. Third biggest margin at halftime in playoff history. Fourth worst loss in playoff history. They were down 60. They closed on a 5-0 run. They would have had the record, which was 58. I can't believe it. Worst home playoff loss and worst loss in franchise history in the playoffs. And then you say we're going to come out swinging. But those guys were great at halftime. Barkley mocking them, Ernie, Shaq. And then Hero says we're going to come out, we're not going to get swept. And that happens. And it's even worse. It was the record. The Cavs set a record for margin of victory in the series as well. I'll give you this. I'll give you another lose some. How about the Bulls and the Hawks?
Trust me.
They beat them. The Miami Heat actually won 2 games in the play, and they were a 10 seed.
I know. Trust me. I can say it. I can't prove it. The Hawks or the Bulls absolutely would have given the Cavaliers a better series.
Yeah.
And now we had Chad Andrus on the show yesterday, 104.3 The Fan in Denver. I think he's spot on. He tweeted this out last night after the game. Hey, Spoelstra, you want a culture change? You want to mix it up a little bit? Why don't you get out of Miami, come to Denver, and coach the best player in the world?
Not bad.
I would love that angle.
The anti-Riley stuff is ridiculous. They just went to the finals a couple of years ago.
Yep.
The whole Butler thing torpedoed the series. Right. Or the season, rather. What are you supposed to do? He refused to play, demanded a trade, then you couldn't get a fair compensation for him.
That's who he is, and what he doesn't matter where he goes.
Right.
Butler's always been the same guy.
Yep. Lose some consistency with the officials and the officiating. Everyone livid at what happened at the end of the Knicks game with the Pistons and O'Call. They call that touchy crap on Brooks for putting his hand on his stomach to decide the game on a 3. You call that?
How do you do that?
Come on.
You can't make that call. Under any circumstance, you cannot make that call.
Right.
In a tie game, he barely touches the jersey. Oh, no, here we go. And then they go and look it over in the review as well. Oh, yep, it's going to stand. He's going to go to the free throw line and shoot 3 free throws. It's a disaster.
I know. Then they came out yesterday and said, we missed the call on Luka. With 30 seconds left, he was tripped.
Yeah, well.
Should have went to the line down 1.
That's what I thought in real time.
Then it turned out to be, Then they had to take the timeout, and they only had 2 seconds to advance it, and they had the turnover.
I mean,
that's enormous.
If Jalen Green doesn't turn it around in Game 5, and then beyond that, in this series, specifically in this series, he's going to have to chew on this for a full year. How is that going to play in his head?
Barkley's right as well. You can't go from 38 to 8. You can't give me 38, and then you give me 8 and 10, whatever the other game was. Mm-hmm. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Here it is. Paul sent it in. Thanks, Paul. People can't wait to stand up on the plane. You're going nowhere. Where are you going? Stand up right away as soon as the plane lands. Well, you're not going to beat anybody. You're in the middle of the plane.
Yep.
It's baffling, right?
We used
Why
to talk about
do this
all the time on the morning show. I used to love traveling. The destination was always great to me. Get to the airport, have a beer, people watch, boom. Maybe have a couple more pops on the airplane, then you land, you're good to go. This absolutely drives me insane to the point of where I never even want to fly. It happens every flight, doesn't matter. Huh. The second that you land, 15 people standing up, and they try to run up and cut in front of you.
Yeah.
You just want to hit them over the head with your backpack.
Or also you're so excited to grab your luggage. I mean, it's just... Or get your overhead bag. I don't get it. It's like taking the shoes and the socks off. How about the dog? This is great with the dog video. He's got his donut here, his little snack, and he takes it and he buries it under the carpet in the kitchen table. And then he pats it down like it's dirt. Let me get this for later here. Let me store that. Right, that's a good one.
Nobody's going to have any idea.
Puts the treat under the carpet, right, like you can't see it. That's excellent. Oh, it's been too long. They go through like they're high or have a six-pack in them. They don't know how much they weigh. The pandas here, trying to make themselves extinct, and then, they don't know how much they weigh, and they keep climbing up the trees, and they fall down.
He's yelping? He's going to strangle himself?
Yeah, well, the next one coming up here is good, right? Right, playing in the back. Keep falling down, ass over tea kettle. All right, this sounds fun. Right now, go. I'm going to fall down. Right, here we go. Look it, up on top. Easy. There's another one. Oh, and everyone's watching. The audience gasping. It's like you got to realize how much you weigh here. You can't get up that high. The branch is going to break. They can't hold you. Look how high he is.
Oh, my Lord.
They're okay. He's okay. But look at this. How high he gets up. It's just a compilation of pandas falling down because they have no idea. You can't climb up that high. It's going to break.
They're a bunch of Mick Foleys. That guy. That's incredible. He dropped on his head from like 25 feet.
We'll put that up later. Send that down, Luke. Derby Day almost here. Why not make it your first bet at Best Bet? At First Bet. First Bet, you can wager on Churchill, Belmont, tracks around the world, all from your phone. FirstBet.com, promo code VSiN200. Get a $200 sign-up bonus. Don't miss out. Bet smarter on the Derby. FirstBet.com. How can the Pistons be the same price as the Bucks at one shop to come from behind and win the series? The Pistons have been right there. Milwaukee needed an all-time game from Trent or they would have been swept.
Yeah. I know what the priors were to the series starting. Right? The Knicks were basically twice as high as what the Pacers were. Not quite, but almost.
Yeah.
But also, now the way the series is played out and there's no Damian Lillard now moving forward.
Yeah, come on. It's over. And we're going to be good for in-play because, it starts at 3 o'clock. The other one, the Pistons, I'll tell you, for a lot of young players, and they do have some vets, but Cunningham, they're not intimidated by the guard.
They will not be
They've
scared
been great.
Tonight. Not at all.
They've been great.
Yeah, no, I would much rather have the Pistons tonight in pocket than the Bucks. I want nothing to do with this Milwaukee team tonight.
Yeah, good angle here, too. There's so much great stuff here with the markets, but you could, like Alex mentioned, you can bet empty net goal in these games. How about the guy to score the last goal?
Sure.
Now, I think Carolina wins. 290, we're getting carried away. By the way, the home team in that matchup is 7-1 this year head-to-head. But Carolina player, last goal. A couple good emails and tweets on that, too.
Yeah, saying maybe Aho is worth a look in that game tonight at around 10-1. He's got a lot of them in his career, empty netters. Major League Baseball, we'll touch on a lot of the games coming up a little bit later on, but one I wanted to give you here, it's a rematch of when they met on May 27th when Mackenzie Gore took on Zach Wheeler and the Phillies. Gore in that game pitched 6 innings, one hit.
March 27th?
What did I say?
May.
I'm sorry. Yes, March.
Gotcha.
March 27th. 6 hits for Gore allowed. 6 innings, one hit, no earned, 13 Ks. He also struck out 13 Rockies on April 19th. Here's the problem. This game is at Philadelphia today, Citizens Park. In 5 career games in this ballpark, Mackenzie Gore is 0-3 with a 7.94 ERA. The whip is also 1.63, and he's allowed 5 home runs. His numbers are much better at home when he faces this team than when he's on the road. Wheeler in that same game, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 8 Ks. In his career, Zach Wheeler is 14-15 against Washington with a 4.37 ERA and a 1.29 whip. Last year, he was great. In 2021 and in 2023, he was not great. The numbers ballooned up in those 2 years, but last year, and maybe we'll have a Wheeler closer to last year against Washington than he was in those previous years, but I can't ignore Gore's numbers on the road here taking on this team. Not the same. And the other one would be the Cubs and the Pirates. On paper, great pitching matchup. Imanaga takes on Haney.
Mm-hmm. Haney's been good.
Very good. There's nothing phony about his numbers so far. Imanaga, however, 34 innings, a 196 BABIP. That's batting average of balls in play. That will come up throughout the season. A 3.18 ERA, but a 5.21 FIP. Bad weather tonight, though, in Pittsburgh, from what I understand. All right. I don't really want to get involved.
You want to keep it simple? Braves run line?
Yep.
Marquez going for the Rockies. They've lost 15 of 16. They've been outscored 96-52.
I do want to keep it simple. I have several bets on the Braves in this game.
Okay, right.
Yep.
And got there easy after the 3-0 Rockies lead, but Braves will get whatever they want offensively, total 11. And the Rockies, again, Marquez has been terrible.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, this team. On pace to win 24 games. 24 games.
Now, that pace, I'm sure, will pick up a little bit here, but the under 48.5 on the regular season win total, I would not be afraid to bet that under. That's available at a couple of different spots. So it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We'll go to the Garden up next. Brian Mahoney covers the NBA. He'll discuss Knicks, Pistons. Does Cat have another big game? Same with Brunson. The Pistons feel feisty. However, does he concur? All that coming up here on VSiN.
And we're out.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to load funds into my gaming apps.